So I just had this incredible revelation, and I do hope this helps somebody. So the question is, why doesn't God show himself to us? Why doesn't Yahweh show us something? For this example, imagine a Muslim man, right? Again, I've read the Quran, I'm reading the Quran, let me rephrase. I'm reading the Quran, I'm studying an Islamic culture. Jesus is an insanely prevalent figure in Islam in its entirety. Extremely important, extremely prevalent. He's mentioned like, I think 20 times, 25 times more than Muhammad himself. He really is like, he is there. Because I realized that if a Muslim man, let's say, gets hit by a car, God forbid, of course, and he's dying, that if Yahweh came down supernaturally and came down in the form of, Jesus, and Jesus spoke to the Muslim man in his head before he came back to life, you could argue that he would just chalk that up to Jesus the prophet talking to him, not Jesus the Messiah. I say this because I've realized that supernaturally speaking, for Yahweh to interact with you, there has to be some level of you not believing in him, though that is good and that's great, but to consider that he is a possibility. That when you consider he's a possibility, that supernaturally he can help you, because you will consider that it's real, you'll consider it could be Yahweh, and you'll look into it. But if you don't believe, again, if an atheist doesn't believe in God, even if God supernaturally touches them, it won't work, and they're just going to chalk it up to something else. I also think that's why when you look at guys like Bryce Crawford, Realism Official, Pastor Mitchell, when they went atheist to Christian, why it works so well is because when you're at the end of your rope like that, Yahweh supernaturally touching them, they actually looked into it. This is Yahweh, this is God, I must look into this. I'm going to trust God now. I think that the hardening of hearts is the fact that you don't even consider him a possibility, which I love, because it means that my goal isn't to convince every human being on earth to trust in Yahweh, though that's what you should do. It's to have them consider him. Because when you at least let somebody, some skeptic, at least consider Jesus, even for a moment, Yahweh can do his magic. He can work. Yahweh can go to work. Basketball terms, he can go to work. Let him cook, right? But if they don't consider him, there is nothing he can do. Or not nothing he can do. They will chalk it up to something else. So I just find that a powerful revelation for me, because it means that this world isn't as dark as I thought, and that everybody can be saved. God bless.